Good evening. Welcome to WW Radio Live. It is Wednesday night, my favorite night of the week because I get to spend and share it with you. If you're watching live, thank you for being here. Grab a snack, sit back, relax, and tag and invite a friend to join us. And if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to join us here every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I appreciate you being here tonight, spending and sharing some time with me. We're going to focus tonight not on Walt Disney World, but on Disneyland for just a little while. Feeling a little bit under the weather, and I have my Momentum Weekend Workshop coming up it's a matter of hours. We start on Friday, so a lot of stuff going on here in the what is now the Momentum headquarters, at least for the next few days. The weekend workshop takes place here at Walt Disney World, but there's a lot happening. I need to put these on so I can see what your comments are. Becky Mankin, happy Wednesday. You are on time. Welcome back from, I think this was, if I'm counting, let me see. This was your 137th cruise this year. This year. It doesn't matter. Welcome back. It is good to see you. Grace Corba, also from Mouse Fan Travel. Beatrice Dennis, nice to see you. A lot of familiar faces. If you're watching live, if this is your first time watching, let me know where you're watching from and best restaurant in Walt Disney World. I want to get to know you a little bit better, and we gather around the table. Food is the great bringer togetherer. I just made that word up because it's not really a word. You can see brain's not working 100% tonight. But tonight I want to talk not really specifically about Walt Disney World, but really about Disneyland. I had a great time this week talking with Mr. Daps from Daps Magic. If you've ever heard of Mr. Daps, if you've ever sort of read or seen some of his stuff before, let me know in the comments. We had a great time chatting about some more reasons to visit Disneyland. We did a show back on 3-something, like it's been years, but I have some more Disneyland related ideas that I want to touch on, as well as some stuff from some of the other parks as well. Ashley Grissom, nice to see you. She's just jumping right in and it's like, the best walk-up restaurant in Disneyland is Tiana's Palace. You very well might be right. Tiana's Palace is a great testament to the idea of you don't have to do a lot of different things. Just do a few things really, really well. Tiana does it well. And I'm not just talking about the icebox lemon beignet, but that gumbo is legit. That is legit good gumbo. So I agree. I've been thinking about that gumbo a lot. Darren says Napa Rose. Darren, took me a long time to get to Napa Rose. Becky talked about it a lot, and I think I Catholic guilted her into taking me eventually. Very, very nice. But I don't know, man. I might, if I had a choice of Napa Rose and Tiana's, I might go to Tiana's. And by might, like I would definitely go to Tiana's. Jamie's watching from Concord, New Hampshire. Marla Chan, love Marla Chan, fan of Mr. Daps. He's just a good guy. You know, I love like working with good people who are doing good things. And as soon as he told me, because we were chatting before recording, I'm like, tell me again what the whole DAPS thing means. As soon as he sort of put that, positive stuff spin on it, I was like, this is why we don't know each other well, but we get along very, very quickly right from the outset. Colton is watching from Minnesota, and Flame Tree Barbecue is the best restaurant in Walt Disney World, in your opinion. There's nothing wrong with any part of that answer. Flame Tree Barbecue is, because I love Flame Tree Barbecue, one, when it's not 177 degrees in Animal Kingdom, and two, sitting down by the water under the cover of shade, looking out over and hearing the sounds in the distance from Expedition Everest. That's a good time right there. That is a good, nice time. In the fall, preferably, or early spring, whatever it might be. Becky, we do still have events on the Blue Sky table. So much that we need to chat about. Let me get through momentum. And then we will get to some of the other ideas. And that Yeah, never mind. Mm, can't say. Jason's watching from Levittown, New York, and Homecoming is also. You can't go. I have, knock on wood, I have never had a bad meal at Homecoming, and I went last time I was there a couple of months ago for a friend of mine's birthday, and they had some new items on the menu. Still continues to kill. But tell me about. Let's talk about Disneyland, right? So we talked about some 10 additional reasons why you need to visit Disneyland. And it was great. I love the fact that that Mr. Daps and I didn't talk in advance. I never do, right? I sort of never go over these things with, whether it's Becky or Tim or whoever the guest is, because I want the conversation to be as authentic and organic as possible. And I loved that he really touched and sort of pulled on those nostalgic heartstrings in a lot of different ways. I jumped right in and went right to food because that's what I do. But tonight I wanted to hear from you, right? If you've listened to the episode, I hope that you have, and that you've shared it out and tagged me so I can reshare it. Cough, cough, not so subtle hint. I'm curious to hear from you. I want to know what your reason is to visit Disneyland, whether it's something new. Is it San Francisco Square? Is it Tiana's? Is it going for Haunted Mansion Holiday? Is it going to get that super cool pic of the hitchhiking ghost that I posted earlier today? What is it? What is the reason? So Ashley says Tiana's for lunch and Napa for dinner. Why? So I find myself, Ashley, when I'm at Disneyland, I'm a bit of a grazer. I don't like to. If you're a psychologist or psychiatrist, this might be saying, I don't like to sort of overly commit when I'm there. I like to sort of like, I'm a hunter and a pecker. I like to go and get a little bit of like a corn dog, and then we're gonna get a cozy cone, and then we're gonna hit Bengal barbecue, but save enough room to go get a little a char siu bao bun over at Tropical Hideaway. Really sort of making sure I ate a lot on this. I had a very short period of time, a very short window to cover a lot. And San Francisco too is just, it is a cornucopia of good, super flavorful foods as well. Amy says, loads of people I know forget about Disney California Adventure, which they should not, Amy. And I think Disney California Adventure 2 is in this like continual state of improving. I think San Francisco, I've heard some people complain, well, there's no attraction. Well, it's a very tiny space, but I think they maximized what they have with some great food options and incredible theming as well, too. Nate is watching from Pittsburgh. It is good to see you. My daughter is up there right now going to school. Becky Mencken says, I'll take the corn dog and the chimichanga and the cozy cone, the trifecta, the best in Disneyland Resort, which is shocking from Becky. Not because those are not the trifectas, like it's almost like the holy trinity of quick service, but because Becky mentioned 3 places that does not have white glove table service. Usually I'm getting online and getting it for her, which is fine. I don't mind doing that, but it's like for flavor, you're 100% spot on. Darren says the churros are on point at Disneyland Resort. I agree. I think the churros are better there. It's the water and it's the humidity too. I think sometimes at Walt Disney World, even though they're sort of in the warmer, there's something about the humidity that makes them not quite as sort of like crispy on the outside, a little softer on the inside. So there is a little, I don't know what it is. It's a better flavor. Ashley says Lou and Becky's Spring Dapper Day in 2024. I have never been to Dapper Day, Ashley. It's something I've wanted to do. I've said that I was going to do every single year here in Walt Disney World. One of these days, I will eventually get there or get here and do it. Marty says Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is a reason to visit Disneyland. So Marty, have you ridden it in Walt Disney World, lamented its closure, and then continue sort of that nostalgic sentiment in Disneyland? Or are you a Disneyland homer? Like, is your Mr. Toad like the one and only Mr. Toad? Matt says, I'm watching from Western Maryland. Yak and Yeti is my pick. So I love Yak and Yeti, both inside and out. I think Yak and Yeti outside is the overlooked, like, secret spot at Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's been a while since I've been there, but you give me an egg roll, an iced tea, and some fried rice, and I sit in the back by that lovely little fountain in the shade under a tree, that is a nice time at Disney's Animal Kingdom there. Again, not in the middle of summer. Angela's Peter and I. What's up, Peter? How you doing, brother? It's been too long since I've seen you. You're watching in Rhode Island while you're having dinner. Peter, what did your mom make for dinner? And by make, if she ordered out from Chick-fil-A, that's fine. Because that's what I almost said that's what my mom did too. Sorry, Mom. That's what I ended up doing as well. Sometimes you just need a little bit of Chick-fil-A. Darren says, Pirates is better at Disneyland Resort. I agree with the caveat that the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction is better at Disneyland, but the Pirates of the Caribbean queue, and soon to be the post-show area, is better in Walt Disney World, right? So I love the fortress. I love the queue. I love the sort of the multiple layers and rooms of the queue. And now having that lounge, calm down, Becky, having the lounge in what I expect to be the Pirates League and that shop area there, I think like the opening and closing here are better, but the attraction, right, is overall better in Disneyland. William says, I had so many churros. So, William, are you a straight churro guy, like just the way God intended, or you like to sort of, because Disneyland is the land of culinary adventure, because there are so many options, even when it comes to churros. Especially if you go to downtown Disney, they've got like a churro cart there with like 13 different churros. Even in the parks, they'll have different churros. They'll have different seasonal churros. Are you sort of a just straight churro guy? Marla says, lots of affordable dining options in Disneyland California Adventure. Fun to people watch at Disneyland. I agree. And that's why I like sort of, I can have a cozy cone, get your annual pass discount if you have one. Sorry, your Magic Key Pass discount thing. And then go over and get a little bit of shawarma over in Avengers Campus. And that steak, breakfast, chimichurri burrito, chef's kiss, was so good. I could go top 10 foods in Disneyland. That might have to actually be a show one of these days. Lori says, I'm going in November and taking notes. Lori, if you need, dare I say, like a personal guide to help you along, I will be willing to fly out there and traverse and travel and explore Disneyland with you. I love it there. And it's gotten easier and less expensive to get to. Like Breeze Airways just started flying. You all know this already, but Breeze Airways just started flying from Orlando to John Wayne Airport, which is small and close to Disneyland. And it's very inexpensive, especially if you're going like super. I'm not talking Becky Mankin, like steamer trunk packing, because then all of a sudden it starts to add up like Spirit. But I didn't get a chance to do it last time, but the next time I go, I want to check out Breeze, and that it's direct, right? I don't love doing layovers because I need to get my cozy cone, but I also need to get to my breakfast steak burrito and the breakfast chimichangas sold out every morning by like 9:30. I never even got to Frontierland to get a try at one of the legendary breakfast chimichangas. So Darlene loves going to Pixie Hollow for Tinkerbell hugs. I have never been. I've never been to get a hug from Tinkerbell in Pixie Hollow. So Elliot Frost is watching on YouTube and watching from Vietnam. Wow, that is awesome. Good morning from Vietnam. Currently out here traveling. My favorite restaurant will be Steakhouse 71. So Elliot, I think Steakhouse 71, first of all, has an amazing breakfast, but man, I dig it there for lunch. And I think Steakhouse 71 for lunch is a nice place to sort of get a little respite from Magic Kingdom, right? You can sort of walk over, have a nice little lunch, get a little AC, relax a little bit, sit down, a little bit more of a calmer experience and sort of hustling through Magic Kingdom. Man, that smash burger is just stack burger. It's not a smash burger. Sorry, stack burger is super, super legit. Heather's reason says, I go to Disneyland because of nostalgia. I've been going since I was a little kid. It just makes me happy. So Heather, when you walk in, what is the moment? What is the place? What is the area that you go to that hits you right here, right? That either evokes a specific memory or sort of brings up those nostalgic sentiments that you're talking about. Because there's different parts of different parks for me that will do that, right? I can go to Main Street and go to a certain area and remember being there with my daughter as a little baby, like with ice cream all over her face. I can go to different parks of different parts of different parks and remember being there with my as a kid with my parents in Tomorrowland in 1976. I won't tell you how old I was. You can figure it out on your own. But there are different things that sort of conjure up some of those memories. I love the Monte Cristo sandwich. Kelly Freeman, who doesn't? How could you not love a Monte Cristo? It's a perfect food. Because the Monte Cristo is like a buffet in a fried little piece of sandwichy goodness. A lot of different flavors. You got savory, you got a little bit of sweet, you got a little bit of meat, you got a little bit of like maple syrup. It is. It's arguably one of the most perfect foods. Which is why we need to do another. I almost said it. I didn't. But we are going to do an event in Disneyland. It doesn't matter. I can say, as long as I don't give details, it's fine. My buddy Joshua Smith, how you doing, man? Says, I'll take the Firefly, glow cubes, chicken and rice at Tiana's Palace, and spaghetti at Boardwalk Pasta and Pizza. I have not tried the spaghetti at said Boardwalk Pasta and Pizza because I think when I go to Disneyland, for some reason, I don't think of like Italian food, but I should. I'm on a quest to try everything, right? And that song is sort of playing in my head. I would love to try everything. So maybe next time I go, Joshua, inspired by you, I will try, but my last name ends in a vowel and I'm a little particular about my like pasta and sauces, but let's see. We'll see how Disneyland does it. Deborah Micken says World of Color is another reason to visit Disneyland. I agree. Sunny Saga says Storybook Land canal boats. Like that's one for me. I love that attraction. It's simple. It's low tech. It's one of those things. And every time I ride it, I hear Becky like freaking out because she, for some reason, has this weird thing about going into like the mouth of the whale. I don't know why. That and dinosaur. She's very psychology, whatever. It doesn't matter. I love the simplicity and again, the nostalgia. I love having, the pilot there with you sort of regaling some of the stories. And if you go at golden hour and the lights are on and starting to twinkle, that is one of my favorite times and places to be somewhere at Disneyland. Barbara loves to go at Christmas time. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever been to Disneyland at Christmas time. I've been for marathon after. Yeah, I don't know that I've been there for Christmas yet. Becky, write that down. Daniel says, it might be off topic, but the churros are mentioned. The best churros in Walt Disney World are at Morimoto. That's for some churro enthusiasts, Daniel, you might be throwing down the gauntlet. I've had the churros at Morimoto. I don't know that I could remember them enough to say that I agree or disagree. I sense a research trip. I'm just looking for an excuse for somewhere to go. If only there was anybody who'd go to Morimoto with me. The gingerbread at the Grand Californian with the fireplace is Chef's Kiss. I have seen it at Halloween when they do the Halloween sculptures and stuff there. Those I really like. And yes, we do have to do a Disneyland resort. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up here on chats. The ability to walk around the park with 3 minutes gate to gate, without a doubt, and I think we talked about that too, Darren, is not just the ability to stand in the middle of the promenade and be almost equidistant from the entrances to Disneyland, California Adventure, and Downtown Disney, but more importantly, the fourth way, right? And I think I mentioned this on the show that, Disneyland Resort has 3 Disneyland owned and operated hotels, but there are a ton of good neighbor hotels in the area. The last time I was there, I stayed at the Best Western Plus across the street. It literally was for research. And again, for somebody who does not spend a lot of time in his room, the rooms have recently been renovated. It's super nice. It's sort of motel-like, sort of with outside entrances to all the rooms. But, and I measured it, on average, it took me about 4 minutes from my door to the gate of whatever park I was choosing. It's literally closer than some of the Disneyland hotels at a much better price point. And oh, by the way, our friends over at Mouse Fan Travel can help book that for you too, like wherever it is that you want to go. But there's a lot of hotels on Catella, not just things like Best Western, but there's Courtyards, there's Sheratons, there's Hiltons, there's Marriott. So if you have sort of a frequent traveler, affinity to a certain type of hotel chains, they have those as well as a lot of discount hotels as well. Mary Wall says, my favorite restaurant in Disneyland is Blue Bayou. Again, I haven't been there. I clearly am finding after my last trip that I need to go and visit way more often. Darren Swell says, eating Walt's chili. The chimichurri. Deborah, that steak breakfast burrito. I did a video, I recorded a video for it, but my hair was a complete and utter mess. I looked like I was exhausted because I was in shock. I was in shock at just how good it was. So, Sue Passauer, also, by the way, of MEI Mouse Fan Travel, I would need more than a top 20 foods. I would literally have to do, for Disneyland, I almost wonder if I have to do, top 10 table service restaurants and top 10 quick service options. I probably do, because I think it would be unfair to combine the two. I have to write that down because I think that's what I'm going to do. Elizabeth Mumkin says, I love Disneyland. I will always be home when I am there. Let's see. Napa Rose Friday evening. Oh, Darlene is going to Napa Rose on Friday. Come join me. Darlene, I will be head down in the midst of the opening night of Momentum, but thank you for the invitation. Let's see. Carnation Cafe, Walt's Chili. So, Nick, I've also heard Long Beach Airport is a better airport to fly into for Orange County, but the only problem with Long Beach is they don't go direct from MCO. That's why with Breeze, having SNA is a really nice. Usually I fly into LAX because it's just easier. I know LAX, there's nothing easy about LAX, but just flying in direct, I know you got to take the shuttle to the Uber and all that kind of stuff, but notwithstanding that, it's still better than doing a layover at, insert non-favorite area, even going to Atlanta or going to Dallas, Fort Worth. So what are your other reasons for going? So the question is, I'm finally getting it. What is your reason to go visit Disneyland? What's your one so Mark, I haven't been to the Jazz Kitchen since they redid it. The Jazz Kitchen for me was sort of like a go-to, but I wonder if now, yes, I want to go to Jazz Kitchen again, especially since it's outside the park. But I wonder now, because Tiana's is so good, and you don't need a reservation, and you can just walk up, and that gumbo is to die for, I wonder if that will sort of replace Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen for me. William says, I agree that the food in general is better at Disneyland Resort, more diverse, better flavor. I agree. I think the flavor spectrum is a little bit more expansive because of where Disneyland is, because it is serving a local audience that may be, skewing towards tolerating a little bit more spice. And I get it. Walt Disney World, because it has such a varied and diverse type of guest that comes, you can't make things too inaccessible for some people. And that's why I hope that the flavors at Tiana's stay the way they are. Darren Rickon says, World of Color. Colton Hansen says, Pizza Rizzo has great pizza and the smells are great. Colton, once again, I'm not sure I'm on board here. only because, and I said this when we I think we've talked about this in the show in the past. Every place, every attraction, everything is somebody's favorite. And I know that there are people that love the pizza at Pizza Rizzo, and I'm not a pizza snob. Like my favorite pizzas are like the local pizza place. Like I'm going to New York soon. I cannot wait to get I'm hoping slices are still like $2. Like my $2 slice on the corner. But Pizza Rizzo, I've never necessarily gone for the pizza. I like the ambiance because it reminds me of going to an Italian wedding when I sit upstairs in the ballroom. But I'm not sure it's my favorite pizza on property. Let's see. Maureen says, I'd love to go back to Disneyland as part of the ABD. Just saying, Becky Mencken. I'm not saying that we're talking about doing another Backstage Magic, but if you're thinking about doing Backstage Magic, maybe you shouldn't. I know it's not Backstage Magic anymore. It's Disneyland in Southern California. Maybe you shouldn't book it yet. How's that? Sue Passauer, some of the biggest laughs that Becky and I have ever had have been riding Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Like crushing each other, intentionally or not, riding in that together, laughing hysterically. Becky, if you call me right now, wait, let me take my phone off mute. Wait, let me see. I think I might be able to do this. This is Becky's ringtone. So when I say that it was that fond of a memory, it has been my ringtone for however many years it has been. Let me see. Jess Rouse says, spinning on the Mad Tea Party after dark with the lanterns overhead. Jess, I do love Mad Tea Party there because it does not have the canopy in Walt Disney World, which was added later on after the attraction opened, just because the sun is so much more intense in Florida. But you're right, that area of the park at night is beautiful. And then you've got the sounds of the Matterhorn and the monorail coming by off in the distance. I agree. There's a lot of places in Disneyland and in Walt Disney World that I think are even better at night. San Francisco, I'm also looking at you. Stephanie says, so much more live entertainment. I love the little Disneyland marching band. And we talked about this on the show, Stephanie. The idea that, and again, maybe because I'm just not familiar with the cadence of when things happen, but there seems like there's always some sort of live entertainment happening somewhere in the park at Disneyland. And if not, a character might just roam by, not sort of even with a character handler with him or her, just sort of walking through the parks. And I see interactions that they have with guests and with kids and sort of almost a little bit more free roaming, which I love because at least for me, they're wonderful surprise and delight moments as these characters just sort of pop up. Darren says the best place in Disneyland is Fantasyland, enjoying all the dark rides. I don't disagree. Becky Mencken might, because Fantasyland for Becky is it's like riding Mr. Toad, but just at the end, it's her version of hell because there's a lot of children and it just does not. But I agree with you. I actually love Fantasyland. It's usually where I go first. So what is your Disneyland tradition, right? Or what is your Disney park tradition? Whether you sort of realize it or not. Like, I know for me, like when I go to Magic Kingdom, I still enter through a certain way. I exit through it. Like I enter on the right, I leave on the right. It's just sort of the way I've always done things. There's no weird superstition about it. If I go to Disneyland, especially if I'm by myself, where I go first, it's usually the same thing. Although I did break tradition when I went to I made a beeline for San Francisco when I dropped my bags off at my hotel. Angela says, I have about 50 people who'll go to more. I know, Angela, and I appreciate that, but momentum is a very hectic, stressful time. And I think you know this about me. Like, Becky's going to roll her eyes when I say this. I never like to leave anybody behind. So I don't like making plans and stuff for dinner and then be like, all right, peace out, because I'm going. And then there's somebody like standing there. Because I've been the person who's standing there like with no plans or nobody asked me to do something. So I never try and do that. I always want to make sure that everybody is included, which sometimes is a challenge. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to. I probably won't make it to Morimoto this weekend, but there's a Benihana at the hotel, so I'll probably end up making it to Benihana at least once. Becky says the Good Neighbor hotels at Disneyland are great. Yeah, we always stay at the Hilton, for Destination D. It's not D23 Expo anymore. It's D23, the Ultimate Fan Convention thingamajiggy. I know that's not the real name. The Ultimate Fan Experience, whatever it is. We love staying at the Hilton for there. I've stayed on a couple of the different hotels at Catella. I want to try a few more. There's actually another place I was supposed to go and visit on this last trip, but I had to leave, that I cannot wait to show you because it is super, super cool. And there's a good chance you've never seen it before. And I have to just tease as broad of a stroke. I don't know if I'll make it back this year. I probably won't make it back till after the first of the year, but it's super cool. And I was really looking forward to sharing with you on this trip, and it just didn't happen. Grace Corba, also from Mouse Fan Travel. We love Grace. Like, there's a lot of love. I mean, not like shrine in my room, because that would be weird, but there's a lot of love for Grace. Love the easy walk over from park to park. It's all close and intimate in Disneyland. Matthew has never been, hopes to go next year. You got to do it. The churros and chocolate at Coronado Springs. So, Chrissy, are those the churros? Are you mean the ones at Three Bridges? Do you mean the churros at Three Bridges? Because I remember those were really, really good. Keith says I should stay at the Anaheim. It's wonderful. Is it just called the Anaheim? Like, that's it? Like, not the... Because there was, there's the Camelot Inn, and there was the... What was the one that's gone now? The Jolly Roger, right? It was like they were very kitschy themed ones from the 50s and 60s. Sue Passer, I agree. I do need more research trips. I absolutely do. The last time I ate at Blue Bayou was with you. Aw, and the crowd. There's no crowd here, but if there was a crowd here, Becky, they would be saying aw. Let's see. Let me quickly go. So Kelly says, we love the Best Western Plus Park Place and Mini Suites. That's where I stayed. We stay there all the time. We feel like it's the closest hotel. It is. It's why I like staying there. They have a great warm breakfast that comes with your stay. We need scooters. They rent them right there in the lobby. Yeah, the staff was great. The place was super clean. I had a huge room because it is a mini suite. I had 2 queen beds, really nice big TV, but there was also a sitting area and a desk, so I was able to get a lot of work done. But you're right. I didn't get a chance to partake of the breakfast treats because I had a date with Disneyland, but you're right. And literally I would walk out of my room and I would look to the right and the Disneyland entrance sign is right there. I mean, it literally is across the street. SNA is the best case scenario for going to Disneyland. Yeah, Becky, I'm going to try Breeze next time I go out. I know you will never try Breeze, but I will try Breeze because I want to see what the experience is like going from Orlando to SNA. I'm not a fancy person. I don't need fancy stuff. If I have a seat and preferably Wi-Fi, that's fine because I bring my own snacks. If you've traveled with me, you know this to be true. Not kidding. 5 to 7 pounds of snacks. Just in case. I've watched Lost enough times to know you need to bring snacks just in case. The fried chicken at the Plaza Pavilion is also awesome at Disneyland. It is, but I always find myself walking towards the Plaza Pavilion and then making a right and getting a corn dog. I can't help it. It's like I feel obligated is the wrong word, but I feel like I need to. My reason to visit Disneyland is spending money in downtown Disney or going to Critter Country. Becky, I just saw your thing, and I hope that is not true. Angela says, I love the nostalgia there. I kept looking for Walt Disney. Angela, if you really love the nostalgia there, and I mentioned this on the show, they have amazing tours that rotate throughout the year, but a lot of ones that really are steeped in the nostalgia and walking in Walt's footsteps, which I've never done before, but heard good things about. If only I don't even need somebody to go with me, because I did the Happy Haunts tour by myself last time. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel, and I loved it. And I love the fact that it touched on a lot of Disneyland nostalgia while we were there too. Mike Osmond, I'm going to assume related to Donnie, says, Mr. Toad, I love reliving my childhood favorite at Walt Disney World. To see the original 64 Small World boat ride, I remember from the World's Fair. It's a Small World at Disneyland is better than It's a Small World at Walt Disney World. I'll die on that hill. It just is. It's just better. It is original. I love the outside part. I love the insertion of the characters. And it's, again, recently been refurbished and it looks beautiful inside, like super bright colors. I have to quickly scroll because I'm so behind. Ashley says it's interesting. I met somebody at D23 who was from California who said our food was better and that we were spoiled at Walt Disney World. Ashley, you can make an argument, right? Because Walt Disney World, the scale is so much bigger. We obviously have way more options to choose from. So you can make that argument because you can be more selective about where you go. But I think, especially if you're talking about in-park food, it's hard because I want to say this and I'm like, well, no, but think about like World Showcase, think about Animal Kingdom. Like there's great in-park food in those places as well. But I think there's per capita, Disneyland for its size has such a wide selection of unique food items that are just, they're a little bit of a step above, I think, a lot of what you might find in like Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. And there's a rumor, say it isn't so, there's a rumor that the chicken and waffles at Sleepy Hollow Refreshments is gone. I have not confirmed this for myself because I'm in pure momentum mode, although I was tempted when I heard that today to hop in my little car, but I'm not a crazy person. I hope that that's not true. Grace, I love Pim's Test Kitchen as well for quick service. The only thing I wish Pim's Test Kitchen would do is do what they do for the Pim's Test Kitchen in Disneyland Paris, where it's a buffet, and they really embrace the large and small size foods. So you can get teeny tiny little sliders, and then they have like a hamburger that's like this big that they cut like into pizza slices. It's super fun, and the food is, I think Pim's Test Kitchen could be some of, if not the best sit-down food at Disneyland Paris. Now, that being said, I think Disneyland Paris's food is not as good as Walt Disney World or Disneyland, but I like Pim's a lot. Kristen Baker is going for the first time in December. So, Kirsten, what are you looking forward to most? Right? What are you looking forward to most? What's that first thing that you're going to do when you get there? Do you want to see Main Street USA and the reveal of the castle and look up at Walt's apartment and give him sort of a nod and a wink of gratitude? Or do you go right for the cozy cone? Like, what is the first thing that you're going to do, and what are you looking forward to doing most? Cheesy barbecue brisket at Geyser Point. So, Brett, whenever I go to Geyser Point, I think I had it when we did the review, and I don't get to go there a lot because I don't really leave my house very much, despite how it might appear to the opposite. That bison burger, whew, when I finally get around to doing the top 10 burgers in Walt Disney World, if only there was anybody would do it with me, that bison burger is very, very, very high on the list. Becky. This is the top 10 Becky things that Becky has said. I like Mr. Toads because everyone goes to hell in the end. Mouse Fan Travel, everybody, right there. I like Mr. Toads. Becky, that might be a little bit of an off-brand. You might want to sometimes you need to keep things inside. Filter between here and here, or in your case, here and here. I'm going to take this off the screen now because I don't think that is the best for your brand. So Let's see. Mike says my company is hosting our conference next year at Disneyland. So excited. Mark rides Big Thunder and yell out the next parts of the attraction. I like Big Thunder Mountain better at Disneyland because I love the sort of the dynamite scene as you go up the hill. Barbara, I think Matterhorn, and I'm happy that Mr. Daps agreed with me and said it. It's a bit of, and I know this is like an old man thing to say, but that's a bit of a rough ride. That is, it's gotten, and I've put on more padding. Disneyland has taken a lot of that padding off, but that is a that is a super rough ride. Mike Gritty Queen says, thankful to Lori Oliveri for making my mom's 70th birthday magical there at Blue Bayou. Lori Oliveri is a Mouse Fan travel advisor. That's the stuff that they do. Mike was not prompted or paid for that, but it's those little things, right? It's those little things I try and make you understand that the agents do on their own just to make your trip a little more special. That's it. That's the differentiator right there. So Ashley used to go to Adventureland first or Trader Sam's, depending on how awful the drive from Elian. God bless. Ashley was so nice, like to come out and meet with me. And we had a very nice dinner together with Ashley and her mom when I was there. And then I asked, how long does it take you to get there? And I remember, I almost forgot for a second that it's LA. And she's like, oh, an hour and a half. I'm like, why would you drive so far to come all the way out here? But you really got to love Disneyland to live and drive in LA. So, let's see. Carol Rothenberg joining late, vacationing on the Gulf Coast of Florida. Where on the Gulf Coast? I love the Gulf Coast. I used to live down in Naples and Marco Island. Grace says the best throwback and off the beaten path attraction is the Davy Crockett Explorer canoes. You really row, and the cast members on that row are like Jungle Cruise skippers. The jokes are so good. It's nostalgic and must do. I agree. I prefer to do that like right now, like when the weather's starting to get a little bit cooler. If you can do that with a bunch of friends, it makes it even better. Yes, you got to put the work in. You got to row a little bit, but if you need to take a breather, Becky, then you can do that too. But you're right, and it's a piece of old Disneyland, which is why I like it. Like I almost do it more for the nostalgia than I do the attraction stuff. Although you get some beautiful views of Rivers of America, and I did something I meant to post this. I still have like 10 videos I have to post from Disneyland. I did something in Disneyland that I never had done before, which was I rode on the sailing ship Columbia and went below deck. Because if you go below deck, there's all these little like alcoves and it shows like where the captain and the crew live and work and play and sleep. It's super cool. It is a low-tech, no-tech attraction, a piece of Disneyland history. And I think, talking about overlooked experiences, riding on the sailing ship Columbia is somebody correct me, it's 17, 18 minutes, somewhere around there. Super nice. A wise man at a recent WW meetup told us to try all the cozy cones. Mike, that man sounds like, I don't like to use the word genius often, but in addition to being incredibly handsome, he sounds like he's very smart and has eaten his share of cozy cones, which is why I need to lose 40 pounds by Friday for momentum. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but that's the goal. All this talk of food is not. So the fried pickles at Carnation Cafe are so good. Where did I just have really good? Oh no, I had really good fried pickles. Was at the Food and Wine Festival in Epcot. Well, the fried pickles, I don't know what they do, what sort of magic sort of stuff they put on it to keep the breading on those pickles, but good Gandhi, those are delicious. So Maureen Carey, the Happy Haunts tour is a 2-hour tour through Disneyland. It's a guided tour that with some very cool photo ops and surprises that takes you through not just the history of Halloween itself, as you probably make 12 to 15 stops along the way. And then you'll get a little bit of like Halloween history, a little bit of Disneyland Halloween history, a few surprises here and there. You get to ride pirates. It's $93. I should take, I literally just put the pin in my closet. You get a really, really cool pin as well. And you get reserved fireworks viewing at night if they happen to have fireworks. Otherwise, you just get the castle projection show. Let me see. Small World of Christmas. Quickly going through. Jess Rouse says, my son Colton says Buzz Lightyear at Disneyland is better because of the freehand laser blasters. You can pick them up. Jess Rouse, tell Colton. I'll tell Colton, you're 100% correct. Buzz is better at Disneyland. I think maybe we should do that. Like, we'll do a Disneyland versus Walt Disney World attraction by attraction showdown. Somebody please write this down and email me. And maybe I'll reach out to some folks in the nation and we'll do that. We'll do sort of an attraction by attraction showdown and throwdown. Big Thunder versus Big Thunder, mano a mano. Space versus space. Small World versus Small World. Cozy Cone versus Haunted Mansion versus Haunted Mansion. And we'll see who comes out on top. That would be fun. Somebody just please message me or email me, Lou at WW Radio, because I'm going to forget it. Marla Chan, I love Tropical Hideaway. Tropical Hideaway made it on my list this week when we were talking about my reasons to visit Disneyland. Lucille says, I'm here for the rough rides on the Matterhorn. Lucille, I might have, I'll do it again. It's not like I'll never write anything off. I'll try everything once and I won't write anything off, but Matterhorn was rough last time. Jim O'Neill, back from Disneyland Paris. I love Jim O'Neill. I don't think I love more than Jim O'Neill is maybe Jim O'Neill's family. That's nothing against Jim O'Neill himself, but I love Jim O'Neill's family too. And Jim, thank you. Other Jim Rohosky, thank you. I love Disneyland Paris. I'm really curious to hear what your guys' thoughts were, and I followed along on some of your adventures on social. But how beautiful is that park? Like, Disneyland Paris is a special park. I cannot wait to see the grand reopening of the Disneyland Hotel, Disneyland Hotel at Disneyland Paris in the spring after our London Paris Adventures by Disney, which I cannot believe is coming up so close. Becky Mankin, you got to go on the Columbia again. I was by myself. There was maybe a dozen of us on there. It was a bit of an overcast day. I was fully satiated with a chimichanga, just sitting lovingly in my little tummy, and I sat there going, this is a nice day. Like, this, I'm blessed. I am really blessed. That may have been the chimichanga talking, but I was like, it really is the little things that make me happy. I know I'm a lunatic, but it's true. That's really what I was saying about to myself. So wait a second. Stop the presses, Vicky Vale. You can ask for half chili and half mac and cheese in one cozy. There's no way that could be true. Because there's no way you could make a cozy cone better. But could that come on. Can I get some validation? Can I get somebody to confirm that this is a true thing? Because if so, I'm canceling momentum and I'm going to get a cozy cone tomorrow. Which, by the way, I'm going to do. And I want to do this on Breeze Airways. I'm going to reach out to Breeze Airways because I want to do this. I want to fly to Disneyland in the morning. I want to ride one attraction and have one meal and then get back on the flight and go back the same day. Because you can go round trip for like $150, not including obviously the Uber, but because it's SNA, it's close to Disneyland. That's what I want to do. Like, one thing to eat, one attraction, turn around and go back. I'd love to do that. And now that my kids aren't home, I can do that. Marla, I was going to get the Baymax sipper. I'm not a big, sipper guy. Like, I have to give away that popcorn bucket, which is all the way over there. The Nightmare Before Christmas popcorn bucket. I was really tempted to. I was this close, because I love Baymax. You can't see my Baymax posters here, or my Baymax, a little Baymax fig pin right back there somewhere. But I didn't. I resisted the urge. I'm still stuck on the cozy cone thing. I'm still trying to, we have to go to Paris a lot. Becky, Becky, it's so funny because Becky and I will have conversations and she will literally, I can say this, she will literally tell me, and she's serious as a heart attack. She's like, we can do this trip and then do another one back to back and just spend like a month in Paris in this place. And now that my kids are in school, I'm like, okay, yeah, we really could. We could possibly do that. But we do need to go back to Paris. And Paris is very accessible, meaning, yes, it's a flight overseas, and it's relatively long-ish depending on where you're coming from. But it's easier. Like you can almost really do like an extended weekend trip to Paris, but you really couldn't do that to China or Japan just because it's literally on the other side of the planet. Becky, I am so excited to go and ask, like I want to go up to the window and be like, listen, I heard you can do like half and half. Like, is this like a thing? And then hopefully they don't ask me to leave the park again. So Kendall Foreman, who, by the way, if you're not a reader of the WW Radio blog, why not? Because Kendall and some of the other members of the team do an amazing. Kendall has some really, really good articles. I love this. Years ago in the Disney magazine, there was a story of a man who wanted Grand Floridian lemon pie for his Thanksgiving dinner. He flew down, got the pie, and flew home for dinner. Disney fans, we are a rare breed, and when we find the thing that we love, we will do it. Marla Chan, they need to sell the Baymax lanterns. I would have bought them from my lanai in a heartbeat. I was literally prepped. Like I am not a big merch guy. I know, despite what you see behind me, I'm not a big merch guy. I'm not a big souvenir guy. I like to bring home the memories and usually the calories. But I was like, all right, I love Big Hero 6. And I hope maybe they do eventually get to it because I went there like the day after it opened. But I would love to see more Baymax and Big Hero 6. I think they're missing massive opportunity there. Yes, the lines for sourdough bread Baymaxes are 4 hours long, and the sippers are flying off the shelves like wildfire. But the bot shop didn't have a lot. And actually, I was there for 3 days. They did add more merchandise from the first day I was there until the last. So hopefully more is coming. I like the Halloween decor on the bookshelf. On my bookshelf? Wait, I don't have any Halloween decor, do I? No, this is the way it normally looks. This is the way it normally. This is actually. Do you remember when I used to have the bookcases here, and there was all like the little cubicles like filled with stuff, and then I sold 10 items on eBay for like a year and a half every single week. This is much more pared down. I still have a lot of stuff in my closet, and once I go through my garage, I'm going to have more eBay and charity auction stuff too. The Dream Team Project charity auction is coming back to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of America. So we've had half and half in the cone a few times. If you mobile order it, ask when you pick it up. Star-Lord, this might be the tip of the decade. I'm not kidding. This is a life-changing tip. It's like I discovered fire. Like, I'm just frustrated. I want to test this not that I don't believe you, but I want to experience this because now I'm just imagining, because the chili with the Fritos and the mac and cheese are like two perfect foods that come together in this like big bang of flavors inside of a cozy cone, like at night. Ay, ay, ay. I literally might be going to Disneyland faster than I thought I was. So Scott Reifman says, I still want that Ramita, the Ramita Artist Edition. Yeah, a friend of mine gave this to me as a birthday gift, and I've received some great things. It's one of my favorite, and I've never seen them again. I just don't see these anymore at all. This gigantic, I can't take it down. It's huge. It's massive, and it's thick, and it's heavy, and it's like the artist proofs of the comic book pages, like before they're inked, like with the original letter and stories, like it's amazing. It is amazing. So, oh, and we have the other thing for the dream thing. There's so much. There's so much happening and going on. I promise tomorrow on our 10-minute conversation, because we're gonna be efficient. 10 minutes in and out. 5 minutes on the one thing, 5 minutes on something else I'm gonna talk to you about, and then one more minute, and then because it's yeah, I'm all over the place. And I gotta go check in, and I gotta still not done with my slides yet. Okay. Now I'm thinking about mac and cheese and chili con carnes. I can't do an hour and a half tomorrow. Next week, after I sleep for a couple of days, I can. By the way, quick aside, I probably am not going to be able to get a show out on Monday. And by probably, there's like a 94% chance. Tomorrow, I'm running around doing momentum stuff. I got to check in. It starts on Friday. It goes till Monday night. So please be patient. I'm going to try and get an archive episode up for you tomorrow. By the way, quick question. Show of hands. Do you like the archive episodes releasing on Thursdays? Do you like the addition of archive episodes in the podcast feed? Yay or nay? And if so, either way, I welcome any feedback. Take me to Disneyland. I can fit in a carry-on and no. Lucille, I would, but my carry-on and my backpack are so full of snacks, I don't have a lot of room to maneuver there. So I would if I could, but I can't. Flame Tree Barbecue has the best mac and cheese. Colton, I will see that mac and cheese, and I will raise you the mac and cheese at Boma. I was at Boma a couple of months ago with some friends, and I was introduced. They have like a Babodi mac and cheese. But I see why people love Boma and that mac and cheese so much. If they had a Uber Eats and I can order it, my hand to God, I would order it right now. Like, that's how good it was. Even though I know I just said I had 2 days to lose 40 pounds before momentum. But let's see. I like the archive episodes. Huge yay. Hands up. Love the archives. That's a yay. Love the Jim Crocus. I know. I'm on a... I just so you know, by the way, I spoke to Jim's brother about a week ago. We talk every so often. I just like calling him and seeing how he's doing. There's a lot. You know, when somebody passes, as I'm sure many of you unfortunately know, there's a lot to manage, and we've been in touch, and I've been trying to help him with some things and letting him know about the outpouring of love and support and memories and thoughts for Jim. And I know he and his family really appreciate that. So thank you for that. Let's see. Bring my attention to shows I haven't had a chance to listen to. Ashley Scarper says, I love them. Love the surprises. Love hearing the old shows. That's good. That's helpful. Did I have Tiana's mac and cheese? Kendall, I didn't. I was there for a media preview. So, and when I went up and I was like, I'd like the gumbo and I'd like that. And she's like, whoa, sailor, slow down. You can pick one. And I'm like, I'm picking one of this and one of this and one of this. She's like, no, you can pick this and this. So I picked the gumbo and I didn't get a chance to go back, but I will. So. But I have heard good things about Tiana's mac and cheese. But that gumbo, I'm going to have a tough time getting away from it. Boathouse, the shrimp and andouille mac and cheese at Boathouse, I can do a top, I have to write this down too, top 10 mac and cheeses on property. If you think you are the most qualified mac and cheese at Walt Disney World connoisseur, reach out to me and we will do the top 10 mac and cheeses at Walt Disney World. But in your email, you got to give me the pitch. Why you? Tell me why you. Tell me why you are the mac and cheese gal or guy and should do the best of the best mac and cheese at Walt Disney World. Like, now I'm just curious to see the emails that come in and the reasons that you offer as to why you should be the mac and cheese person. I might actually ask the same for... I have to do the burgers. I still have to do the burgers at Walt Disney World. Burgers, steaks, mac and cheese. I'm a mac and cheese gal. Darren Rinkman, this is your chance. You're the mac and cheese guy. Are you the Darren? Are you the mac and cheese guy? A lot I don't know about you. Deborah is excited to go to Disneyland next year and go to Tiana's. You're going to love it. I love, love, love Tiana's. Becky, you know what we should do? You know who's the smartest guy in this room? Me. Watch this. Mind you, I'm the only guy in the room. Becky, instead of getting on the phone for an hour and a half, which I cannot do tomorrow, I'm being very clear, what we should do is we should meet in person, because I'm a handshake and a hug kind of guy. And I think meetings in person are much more efficient and effective. Why don't we meet in Disneyland, like 2 days? Well, you know how much stuff we get done. Ow. You know how much stuff that really hurt. How much stuff we get done when we meet together. I'll fly Breeze. You can pay for my hotel. And I mean, I don't care. I'll stay at the Best Western Plus again. I really liked it there. Let's meet and eat at Disneyland. And we'll record a show while we're there too. Maybe we'll record multiple shows. I'm really trying to make my pitch for Becky to fly me out to Disneyland. So don't you think we should do that? Don't you think it's going to do? Yeah, look, we sure do. Right? Look, the crowd has spoken. They would love that too. Darren says, I am the mac and cheese guy. Darren, send me your pitch. It's like the Shark Tank of mac and cheese. Tell me why you are the guy. Keith Suter says, I'm going to have to make mac and cheese tonight. He doesn't have the time. He's going, Brett, that's right. After I said it, I'm like, Lou, you're behind on email as it is. You've got a 3-day conference coming up. You've got so much to do, and you just invited a barrage of emails. That's fine. I'm a mac and cheese gal. So it's interesting that people are advocating for Darren. Like, Darren's reputation as the mac and cheese guy seems to have like legs to it, because the fact that Suzanne Armstrong was like, Darren, this is your opportunity to, make your case. Brett Bowen weighing in, I can do this. Boathouse mac and cheese. That's just my answer. The Anaheim Hotel is just right down the street from the Best Western. So, Keith, is the Anaheim Hotel within walking distance? I know technically anything is within walking distance, but how far is it? Because Cattell is a long street. Cattell is it is a long street. So, Starla Malloy said, Starla now, it's amazing the people who are now advocating. Darren had mac and cheese from the kids menu every night on the Fantasy Group cruise. Interesting. Becky, I'm not going to read your emails or your texts because I'm just not going to. I vote for Darren. It sounds like he's already pitching. Listen, just because he's pitching hard, it doesn't mean he's the guy. I want you to really bring it, Darren. I want you to really, convince me. The Candy Cane Inn is in walking distance. All you can eat, free breakfast. It's awesome. So, Kendall, I've heard about the Candy Cane Inn for years. Didn't they redo it? Didn't they refurbish it a number of years ago? I mean, it might be 5-7 years at this point. But I've also heard really good things about the Candy Cane. Becky, you're not right. Becky is on a ship more than she's not. I don't know why you have a house or a car. You might as well just live in your incredibly steamer trunk filled gigantic suitcase, which is only outweighed by the amount of stuff in your backpack because your laptop is from 1947 and weighs 32 pounds. But I digress. Becky, you're never not home. You're always on a boat somewhere. You don't have time for me. It doesn't matter. Refurb last February. Okay. Candy Cane is reservation. It's okay. So maybe I'll go to Candy Cane Inn when Becky, you can put me up at the Candy. I mean, I'd rather stay at the Grand Californian, but Becky will be at the Grand Californian with concierge level, and I'll be at the Candy Cane Inn. It's the way. It's fine. I'm a simple man. So Anaheim Hotel is close. Stan Solo and I met Stan Solo there during D23. I'm waiting to see if Darren has emailed me yet. Who wants to live in Candy Cane? I would like to stay in a room full of Kit Kats. I don't understand what that means. Do you mean Kit Kats as in the snack treat, or kitty cats as in you'd rather stay in a room? I'm Colton. I'm very confused and slightly frightened by that. Wait, let me go back. I saw they were just the coordinator. He's making my eye twitch. I'm sure. I know it's a very sort of manic thing here. So remember I said at the very beginning that I was going to do a really short show, and now it's 8:36, at least for those of us here on the East Coast. But you guys, so Colton has clarified it. He means he wants to be in a room full of Kit Kats, which I'm not sure if that's weirder or. Marla Chen, you do. Grand California gives you better access to the breakfast burrito at the cappuccino cart. I want to go get the breakfast chimichanga that sells out by like 9:30. I didn't know it was a thing. I have a friend. She works at the chimichanga cart in Frontierland, and I was having my first chimichanga of the trip, and it was like 10 o'clock because why not? Plus it was like afternoon in Florida time. And she's like, oh, you should have been here in the morning. I'm like, what is this breakfast chimichanga? And I said, oh, you don't happen to have like any left, do you? She's like, what are you kidding? She's like, they're gone by 9:30. So now I know, but next time. Dave Rashoni says, one day we hope to make it to Disneyland. Dave Rashoni, stay tuned because we'll do a group event, and then you have no excuse not to come. So Marla Chen says the breakfast chimichangas go fast. It's a thing. So I have to make sure I go and check it out. So anyway, I really do. I've got a ton to do. I've had like no sleep whatsoever. Just juggling all over the place. Becky, don't make a joke. But I forgot what I was going to say. I don't even know. Oh, by the way, somebody asked me about I got an email the other day about, like, you keep talking about like these new keychains that you can win for the trivia contest prize. This is what they look like. So this is what the radio keychain. So when I say that they're like 3D, like they are, like they're like a soft rubber, like, so you can hang it from your little backpack. You can use it as a keychain. They're super, super cool. And you can only get them by winning them on the trivia contest. I also bring them with me to the parks when I go. So if you happen to run into me, there's a good chance I'll have a pocket full of keychains. But if you enter this week's trivia contest, which is a Disneyland trivia question, I think I made this one relatively easy. You have Jim Rohowski says I can actually juggle. The more you know. I learn more. This is what I mean when I talk to people about caring at scale. Like, I love knowing all of these things about you. This is what like live video does that podcasting and vlogging and blogging and social just can't do, because I sort of store these things in my brain. So next time I see Jim, we'll go have breakfast at like Kona Cafe. I'm like, Miss, can you bring me over like 3 breakfast rolls? Because I want to see Jim Rohowski juggle, because he told me he can juggle. That's the kind of stuff that, so. Ashley says, the keychains are great. I have one in my work laptop bag, which is awesome. Thank you. And I can spin plates. So it is the WWW circus. It is the circus of, I was gonna say the circus of the stars, but nobody would get that old 80s TV reference. Anywho, I got to get going because I got a lot to do, so much time and so little to do. Strike that, reverse it. This may have gone off the rails. Suzanne, that's what happens. You've watched probably enough to see and know. Just a couple of quick reminders before I forget. I know it's close, but you can still get in. There still are a couple of rooms available. And thanks to Mousefed Travel, we have our $750 per person discount on our Nat Geo expedition this December, the Christmas Markets Rivers Cruise. I just met somebody a week ago, sort of not in the space, who had just done it. He's like, Lou, you are going to lose your marbles when you go on that cruise. He's like, the Danube River Cruise on its own is amazing. Wait until you go to the Christmas markets. And I was like, squee, that's in like October, November. It's like 2.5 months, but you can still get in and join us. Also, don't forget that we just recently announced our Halloween on the High Seas cruise on the Disney Magic, with a stop, by the way, over at Lighthouse Point. And we also have, by popular demand, our cruise aboard the Disney Treasure, February 8th through the 15th. It's not just one of the inaugural cruises on the Disney Treasure. It's not just WDW Radio's 20th anniversary, but I also just realized the other day, it's Valentine's Day, which might mean nothing, but we'll somehow figure out a way to make that fun, because that's what we do. And if you want to learn more and get a free no obligation quote from our friends over at Mouse Fan Travel, who you need to book with if you want to join us on our group activities, visit www.radio.com/cruises. There was something else I forgot too. I don't remember what else it was. I know what it was. I got an email today. Somebody asked me, I guess somebody watched today the video from last week. And yes, if you heard on the show and if you saw him last week about my partnership with HelloFresh, yes, you can still take advantage of it. If you go to hellofresh.com/50 WDW and use that code, you get 50% off your first order. Plus, you get 15% off your next 2 months. I'm not just their partner. I'm also a customer. We've been using HelloFresh at my house. We had 3 HelloFresh meals this week. We had an amazing pasta with like vegetables and cheese and butter last night. It was amazing, and it was super easy because everything comes, it's right there. You don't have to like go into the grocery store and like, what am I going to order? Like, forget it. Let's just get Chick-fil-A instead. It tastes good. It's good for you, and it makes it super easy, and it's a great value as well. So Carol Rothenberg says, I second the HelloFresh recommendation. Yeah, I love the folks over at HelloFresh. What else? I know I'm forgetting something else. I have no idea what it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm sure I'll remember as soon as we're done. But whether you're coming with us on any of our adventures, when you're coming out here to Walt Disney World, Halloween is in full force. It's going to be Christmas season and the holiday season before you know it. And if you've been inspired to go to Disneyland because of our conversations, be sure and check out our friends over at mousefantravel.com. Because whether you want to stay with Becky concierge level at the Grand Californian, or you want to hang with me over at the Best Western Plus, they can help you get not just the best possible prices, all available discounts, but as you've heard from some people on tonight's show, it's more than just the personal service, but it's the little extra special things that they do to make sure your vacation is truly, truly magical. So go visit them over at mousefantravel.com. And like when you go to the boathouse, tell them Lou sent you. It probably won't do anything at all, but we are literally one big happy family. So thank you very much for being here tonight. You always make me, this might mean nothing to you. This might mean absolutely nothing to you, but for whatever it's worth, I always talk about this idea of choosing the good and like being the good. You don't know the positive impact you have on me just by being here. Like by these conversations, like you make me smile, you make me laugh, like you make me feel so good. And I love sort of just watching this community and family that you guys have created. Like it does, it fills my heart and it fills my cup and just, you know, I'm grateful to you. I really, really am. And that is not something I just throw in at the end of a show. I say it because I mean it. And I hope that you know that that is true. So I love you. I appreciate you. I really do hope that this is your best week ever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you everybody who said good luck on Momentum. It should be great this year. We're looking forward to it. And as always, if there's everything I could do for you, please reach out and let me know. Spread the word. Choose the good. I love you. Bye.